Journal Journey, writing prompt number 84. Before we get started, I'm not going to plug my comic book like I have almost all 80 of my other episodes. I'm going to plug my podcast, Entertainment Buffet Podcast, and more so specifically that we were nominated for the 2020 Discover Pod Awards. We are nominated for 2 categories for Best TV and Movie Podcast, as well as People's Choice. If you follow the link in the description below, I'm going to wait for you to go ahead and click it. But really, if you click that, vote for Entertainment Buffet in those 2 categories. My co-host Jess and I would really appreciate it. It's available in the link below in the description. Right there, I put it at the top of the description so you cannot miss it. Would really appreciate it. Let's go ahead into the writing prompt, which is... What funny and memorable things did you do as a child? This is a better question probably for my parents. Funny things. I guess for this one, I'm going to try to think about things that I saw on home video, which my parents had one of those big camcorders that was like this big, shot straight to VHS. There was this one video that I got a kick out of where I think I was 2. You know, I'm so bad with ages. I feel like I was 2 or 3. Like I was walking and I could say words, but it was kind of like gibberish that my mom would understand. And my brother was 4 years older, so he was probably 5, 6 at the time, was running around. My mom was filming him, doing things, and then you would just, all of a sudden, it would go pitch black, and my mom would be like, Brandon, turn the lights back on, and you just hear like a little giggle, just like, hee hee. And that's weird telling that story about me, but I just found it so funny that, it's like I was just doing these little pranks even as a kid, turning the lights out. The camera wasn't on me, and just to, my mom wasn't paying attention, to just sneak behind her, turn the lights out on the room, and just go pitch black. Apparently, other things I would do is I would just like sneak out of my crib, and like the way my parents' house was laid out was the living room. There was a kind of a loft space up where my mom's office was. She worked from home, and that loft was up where like the bedrooms were. And apparently, I would just sneak out, hang out on the loft, and like looking down from the loft is like where the TV was. And my parents were staying up late, obviously watching TV. While as a kid, I was supposed to be sleeping, and apparently it was even when I was in diapers. Like once I was learning how to walk, would sneak out of my crib, and then like find my way over there and just be watching TV. Which I've always loved TV. Apparently, went to school for film and TV. Have liked it ever since. I also loved. I loved obviously using that big camera. Once I was in like 2nd, 3rd grade, they had gotten a better camera, and so they thought it was fine because like the battery on that was so bad that you needed to always have it plugged in to shoot. So you'd have the big cord with the big thing that it looked hilarious with little kids because it's just bigger than our head, bigger than some of my friends. A couple things I loved doing was figuring out how to do little special effect, I guess, not special effect, but little editing tricks, because I didn't have editing. I was obviously in 2nd or 3rd grade. Couldn't put a VHS under the computer, or at least I did not have that technology. So I figured out how you could make someone look like they're like teleporting, which is, you have them stand, like, say, over here, record, cut, have them move over here, record, cut, and, like, since the camera's in the same spot, it'd be like, bloop, bloop, and once I figured out how to do that, showing my friends, my family, they got a kick out of that. I loved then just coming up with little things like there's some stupid video I was doing with like my cousins and some friends where, doing the stupid trick where like your hand goes in your sleeve and you're like, oh, I lost my arm. But what we did was my cousin was laying on the ground like, oh, I lost my arm, and we had my other friend hide under the couch and stick their arm through, and the way that the couch was laying, it looks like just an arm was laying on the ground, and like we panned over, he's like, oh, my arm, and look over, and it was so funny because it killed my parents and my aunt. They were dying laughing. It was one of the hardest times I ever saw my dad laugh. They were like crying, and like I did so many stupid things, anywhere from like second to sixth grade with those cameras. But for whatever reason, that maybe around fifth grade or something, that really got them. Just the idea of panning over and it actually looked like his arm fell off. Um, yeah, I don't know. That was just funny things, memorable things that. Yeah, I've always loved making people laugh, coming up with things to make people laugh, and goofy things like that. So yeah, those were some memorable, funny little things I could think of from like my childhood. What are some of yours? Comment below. Let me know.